Hello, and welcome to my quick review. I'm your average gamer who doesn't need 100 Reddit threads and 5-hour critiques to decide if a game's worth playing. I go in blind, and if it looks fun and cool, count me in. If it looks boring, I'm out faster than you can say tutorial. Now, my voice and accent might not be the best, so I've recruited my AI friend to help me out. I asked if it could give me a super cool narrator voice, but well, here we are. Let's see if Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is a total power-up or if it needs a Senza bean to make it interesting. Dragon Ball story is basically as old as time at this point. Like, if you're a fan, you've been following this saga for more than 3 decades, which is older than Oolong's underwear wish. The game's story mode sticks to the classics, with all the familiar arcs that Dragon Ball fans love. But here's the kicker. They threw in a few what-if stories. And let me tell you, these alternate outcomes hit the mark. Sure, they're way too short, like they left us with a snack-sized portion of what could have been a full Beerus and Whist banquet. I'd have loved to see more of those. For the rest, just a heads up. If you don't care about plot, you still get to pound on plenty of angry creatures and villains who probably deserve it for reasons. Just go with it. Now let's talk about combat. At first, it's like trying to teach Goten and Trunks how to fuse. It's complicated, messy, and there's a lot of yelling. But once you get the hang of it, oh boy, it opens up a treasure trove of fun playstyles. You'll find counters and combos that make you feel like a martial arts master. If you can remember how to counter, of course. I don't have anything negative to say about the combat, but I do wish they'd borrowed some combo strings from Fighter Z, because who doesn't want to unleash a barrage of moves that makes you feel like a fighting game prodigy? The good news is that this game is surprisingly gentle on your controller. Unlike those epic beam clashes in Budokai, where your controller looked like it just survived a battle against Frieza. Seriously, my old controller is still in therapy from those days. Now, let's glide into the movement mechanics. The idle screen in Sparking Zero is user-friendly, like that one friend who always has snacks at their house. You learn it pretty quickly, and the movement controls are so fast that you'll be dodging attacks like Neo in the Matrix. Seriously, you might even start questioning your life choices when the game feels faster than your reaction time at 2 a.m. That said, I wish they'd added some explanations for abilities. You know, like a what does this ability do guide, so you don't have to dive into a match or training mode just to figure out if that ability rocks or just makes you do a weird dance. But here's the silver lining. The game is fresh, and updates are bound to roll in. Oh, and the character descriptions are a nice touch. Hearing characters give their opinions on each other is like listening to high school drama. Did you see Goku's new hair? So last season. Plus, saving and finding your replays is a breeze. Getting around is a walk in the park. Unless you're the older generation, who might feel like they're trying to outrun a bunch of hyperactive toddlers on a sugar rush. But all in all, I can't fault the movement and navigation. Alright, let's talk about content. Now, Sparking Zero offers PvE content, but let's be real, it's about as limited as Goku's fashion sense. After you complete the story mode, you're mostly left with setting up CPU battles or tournaments. It's like finishing a gourmet meal only to discover that the dessert menu is just a single sad piece of fruit. They do have custom scenarios which are exciting, but honestly, after a while, you might start to feel like you're stuck in a time loop, battling the same few setups over and over. When creating custom battles, you'll notice the character options are a bit slim, like trying to make a 5-star meal with only salt and a potato. Still, it's a great addition, and I can see potential for future scenarios to be magical. And let's face it, we all want to come back to the game for that feeling of nostalgia, like a long-lost friend who suddenly shows up with pizza. Now, some folks with lower skill levels prefer PvE combat, because the PvP can be as punishing as Goku's training regime. At the moment, the PvE content will keep you occupied for a bit, but be warned, it might eventually run dry faster than a desert planet in the Dragon Ball universe. I genuinely believe that adding some extra stories monthly would definitely keep players returning. At least it would keep me around. I also feel like training modes should have more options. You know, give us the chance to train against legendary foes, or add an extreme setting for those story battles. So, let's wrap it up with the negatives and my final thoughts. Overall, Sparking Zero is a pretty awesome game. Seriously, I'd recommend it to any Dragon Ball fan. But let's be honest, the PvP can be tougher than trying to convince Goku to take a day off. Sometimes it's just too unbalanced, making it hard for some players to truly enjoy it. I mean, we all love the chaos of Dragon Ball, but do we really need a character who can one-shot your favorite hero like Mr. Satan? Spoiler alert, it hurts. Now, I totally get that the unbalanced characters are part of the charm. After all, it's what makes Dragon Ball, well, Dragon Ball. Those DP battles are super satisfying, but come on, a single battle should offer a bit more balance. Because no one wants to see their beloved character getting knocked out in one hit. Especially when that character is Mr. Satan. He's practically a national treasure. It's like watching a puppy trip over its own paws. And let's not forget the technical abilities. Trying to figure out what they do is like embarking on a scavenger hunt without a map. Good luck to you. I'd love to see them expand the story content further and introduce more fun game modes with some stricter rules. Maybe even some mini-games to entertain those of us who are still perfecting our skills or are just looking to have a good time. All in all, I'd give this game a solid 9 out of 10. It's fun, it's chaotic, and it has a price tag that fits its content. Just remember, if you're going in for PvP, maybe bring some snacks, a comfy chair, and a strong sense of humor. Thanks for watching, and may your gaming sessions be filled with power-ups and good vibes.